Hey students, welcome to another Learn This With Me series. In today's series, we will be exploring a concept that all of you should know by now. It is none other than the patterns concept. My hope for you is at the end of today's video, you will walk away confidently and you will have no fear when it comes to solving a patterns question. So without any further ado, let's delve right into it. Now, the first thing that you want to know, right, is the types of patterns. There are a total of 6 types. The first one is what we call equal intervals, which I will cover in today's session. The second one is square numbers, followed by sum of even numbers, sum of odd numbers, sum of consecutive numbers, multiples of sum of consecutive numbers, which I will cover in the next few videos. And where can you find these videos? You can find it in the description box. So you can find it somewhere here, all right? Or you can even visit our YouTube channel. Okay, now, at the end of today's video, you will know how to spot an equal intervals question, and you will also know how to tackle an equal intervals question. Today, I'm going to use this question over here from P6 2020 SA2 Catholic High School to solidify my teaching. And before I even, start doing it, right, I'm going to just give you the question. As you can see over here, how many gray dots are there and in which figure will there be 29 gray dots? And we will not do first until we understand fundamentally how to tackle it. Now, when you do an equal interval question, you have to focus on one thing, and that is the formula. All right, and I think that is the most important. As you can see from here, this is the formula. And what is AN? Okay, let's take a look at, in fact, I'll just bring you through the entire process, okay, of understanding the formula. The first one is AN. AN is simply the value of the figure that you're looking for. A1 is simply the value of figure number 1. N is the figure number that you're looking for. 1 is constant, so it will always be 1. And D over here basically means difference. Okay, so if you're wondering, oh my goodness, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me, it's okay, it's perfectly fine. Because why? Because you need to use it first. Okay, when you apply it, then that's when your understanding will increase. Okay, so now, in an equal interval question, there will only be 2 things that they will ask you. All right, they will either ask you the first one, which is the value of the figure that you're looking for, or they will ask you for the figure number. When they are asking you for the value of the figure that you're looking for, then the figure number will be present. Okay, so everything else, of course, is present, right? So if they ask you for this will be present. If they ask you for this will be present. So there will only be one question mark. Make sense? There will only be one unknown. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, as you can see over here, this is the question, right? So how do I spot an equal interval question? Very simple. Okay, why are we not exploring the number of white dots, or why are we not exploring the number of sticks? Simply because these concepts, right, will be covered in the next video. Okay, for number of white dots is actually square numbers. For number of sticks is actually another concept that you will need to cover. Okay, all right, so just watch the video and you will understand what I'm talking about. Now, for number of gray dots is very simple. Now, let's take a look at this. How do I get, the question that you need to ask yourself is, how do I get from here to here? It's actually plus 2. How do I get from here to here? It's plus 2. How do I get from here to here? It will also be plus 2, which means to say in figure number 5, okay, the number of gray dots would be plus 2, which is 9. All right. Okay, then now once you're done with that, you want to look at the question, right? Over here, they're asking you, how many gray dots are there in figure number 50? Let's use the formula. AN equals to A1 plus bracket N minus 1 times D. Now, as you can see over here, what is the unknown? Okay, they will only ask you for this, or they will only ask you for this, right? So what is the unknown over here? The unknown is actually the number of gray dots, which means to say this is the unknown. Make sense? All right. And I see just now, right? If this is the unknown, then definitely I will have N. What is the N? N is figure 50. Make sense? So what I want to do is I want to pen it down. All right. I want to pen it down, and I'm just going to write down whatever I know. AN equals to AN equals to A1. What's A1? Okay. As you can see over here, A1 is the value of figure number 1. So we go to figure number 1 for number of gray dots and we look at the value. Can you see this is A1? All right. So what we want to do, we want to put in 1. Okay. Plus bracket, what is N? N is simply the figure number, which is the one over here. Can you see that? All right. So we want to put in 50 minus 1. Times D. What is D? D is the difference. Basically means the interval. As you can see over here, the intervals are always or will always be the same because this is an equal interval question. Okay. All right, but I'm not saying that every patterns question will have the same interval. All right, just for an equal interval question, you will have an equal interval. Literally, the name speaks for itself, right? So the difference, as you can see over here, is 2. Okay, so once you're done with that, right, what you want to do is you want to solve it. All right, whatever that is in the bracket has to go first, right? So you get 49 over here, you times 2. Okay, again, you remember BODMAS. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to do the multiplication first. All right, so let's do 49 times 2. As you can see, 49 times 2 is 98. So 1 plus 98. Therefore, your answer for the number of gray dots in figure number 50 is actually 99. All right, so over here, what we have discovered is that there are 99 gray dots in figure number 50. And the next thing you want to do is this, okay? In which figure will there be 29 gray dots? Okay, so same thing. Because this is an equal interval question, we want to use the formula again. So an equals to a1 plus bracket n minus 1 times d, right? So again, this is for question number A. All right, and over here, this is for question number B. Now, what's an? Okay, an again is the value of the figure that you are looking for, right? And over here, we can see they are asking us to find the figure. Oh, so that means this is the unknown, all right? So what about what's an? An is simply just the 29 over here. Can you see that? All right, so what we want to do, we want to put this as an, okay? All right, an. Okay, so we can put 29 over here equals to a1. A1 is again the value of figure number 1, which will always be the same, right? So it's 1 plus n minus 1 because minus 1 will always be constant, right? N is what I am looking for times d. D is the difference, which is always 2, right? Because it is an equal interval question. The name speaks for itself, right? The intervals have to be equal. Now, once I'm done with this, I want to solve whatever that is in the bracket first. Okay, so but as you can see over here, n minus 1, there's nothing much I can do. So the next step I want to do is the multiplication. As you can see over here, n minus 1 times 2 basically means 2n minus 2. Okay, and once you're done with this, you want to solve the numbers and the numbers. So 1 minus 2, how much is that? All right, as you can see, okay, 2n is over here, so we just put in 2n first. 1 minus 2, we can put minus 1. Got it? Okay, once I'm done, what I want to do, whatever I want to find must be pushed to the left-hand side, right? So I'm just going to swap. All right, 2n minus 1 will be here, 29 will be here. I'm going to bring the whole numbers over because same family sit together. Whole numbers, they are one family. And then for algebra, they are one family, right? So what we want to do is we want to put 2n is over here. When I bring minus 1 over, it becomes plus. So 2n equals to 30. All right, what we want to do, we want to find n. And what is n? N is 30 divided by 2, which is equals to 15. So what am I trying to say over here? I am trying to say that in figure number 15, there will be 29 gray dots. And that is your answer. Okay, so you can write down figure number 15. Therefore, my answer is figure number 15. Okay, so with that, I've come to the end of my explanation. But before I go, right, I just want to use a discovery question to help you better understand how are you supposed to solve another equal interval question. Okay, so we have a discovery question over here. All right, so let's take a look. Now, the question that I'm using today is actually from 2020 Tao Nan SA2. Primary 6 2020 Tao Nan SA2 math paper. And I want you to look at question number 13 in paper number 2. Okay, so if you have the paper, take it out, focus, and we will be able to solve the questions together. Now, as you can see over here, they have the first layer. All right, it's very obvious to me that for the first layer, okay, there's one triangle. For the second layer, 3. For the third layer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 5. For the fourth layer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And from this, right, I know that it is an equal interval question. Why is that so? Because how do I get from one to another? I just have to plus 2. Okay, and when you see that, right, what would you do? You will want to quickly write down the formula. All right, so they want us to find the triangles in figure number 10. All right, some of you will say, but figure number 10 is quite close, right? I can just do 7 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 all the way. Sure, you can, but you see, the purpose of the video is to teach you how to do equal interval and to use the formula. So I'm just going to use the formula, okay? So an equals to a1 plus bracket n minus 1 times d. Now, you also don't want to do the manual way, okay? Because that way, right, it will take a while. Because if they were to ask you for 100th layer, then what are you going to do? You're going to go all the way to 100? I don't think so, right? So what do they have over here? They have the number of triangles, okay? So they're asking you to find what? They're asking you to find an. Make sense? All right, so an is unknown, which means to say I must have this one, all right? What is that? That is 10th, okay? So I'm just going to put a1 as 1 plus bracket 10 minus 1 times 2. Okay, I'm going to solve whatever that is inside the bracket first. So an equals to 1 plus 9 times 2. I'm going to solve whatever that is in multiplication first. An equals to 1 plus 18. Therefore, the number of triangles in 10th layer must be 19. All right, so therefore, I have 19 triangles. Make sense? So this is my answer for A. Now, when we take a look at the second question, which is how many shaded triangles are there in the 100th layer, and then in which layer will you find 109 triangles, we realize that C is also an equal interval question. So let's solve C first. Now let's do C together. Now, as you can see, an equals to a1 plus bracket n minus 1 times d. All right, so what do they have over here? They are asking you for the pattern number, right? And they are giving you 109, and 109 is my an. All right, so I'm just going to put 109 over here. A1 will always be the same, which is 1 bracket plus bracket n is unknown minus 1 times 2. All right, we have to solve whatever that is in the bracket first, but there's nothing much I can solve in the bracket. So what I want to do, I want to move on to the next one, which is the multiplication, right? So you can see over here, this is actually 2n minus 2, right? Just now in the earlier question, right, we also did 1 plus 2n minus 2, right? So over here, 109 equals to 1 minus 2 minus 1, so 2n minus 1. Make sense? All right. Whatever you want to find, you push it to the left-hand side. It will always work. Okay, always do that. Whatever you want to find, push it to the left-hand side. So 2n minus 1 equals to 109. And then we continue. We want to put the same family together. So minus 1, I bring it over. So 2n equals to 109 plus 1. All right, so 2n equals to 110. And what is n? N equals to 110 divided by 2, which is equals to 55. Okay, so what? 55 what? Okay, 55, as you can see over here, the 55th layer. All right, the 55th layer. Okay, so that's your answer for C. Now, when we look at the next question, right, for question B, they are asking us for the number of shaded triangles. So how are you supposed to solve question number 13B? All right, so let me just show it to you. Now, first thing first, you have to ask yourself, in the first layer, how many shaded triangles are there? All right, what you want to do is you want to write it down. So in the first layer itself, all right, there is actually no shaded triangle. It's pretty obvious to you. In the first layer, there is no shaded triangle. In the second layer, what we have over here is one shaded triangle. And followed by the third layer, we have 2. And followed by the fourth layer, we have 3. And it's pretty obvious to me that in order for me to get to one to another, I just have to plus 1. Am I right to say that? And with that, right, this should prompt you to think that this is an equal interval. All right, so what we want to do, we want to write down the formula. Okay, so an equals to a1 plus bracket n minus 1 times d. All right, so an is exactly what you need to find. Why is that so? Because as you can see from the question itself, over here they are telling you, or in fact, they are asking you how many shaded triangles are there in the 100th figure, right? So how many shaded triangles is simply my unknown, which is what I need to unravel. Now, for A1, that is my first, or in fact, I would say the value of my figure number 1. As you can see over here in first layer, there is 0. So what we want to put 0 plus bracket bracket. Okay, now the thing is this, right? And what is that? Okay, that is simply the 100th layer. So what you want to do, you want to put 100 over here minus 1 times d, which is the difference. Okay, the intervals are all equal, so therefore it's 1. Okay, in that case, 0, solve whatever that is inside the bracket first, which is 99 times 1. Okay, so 99 times 1, what's your answer? Your answer must be 99. Therefore, the answer for B is I have 99 shaded triangles in, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it down, 99 shaded triangles in figure 100. Okay, yep. So with that, I've come to the end of my discovery question for equal interval. And I hope that you understood what I'm trying to convey. All right. Thank you very much. And I'll see you real soon. And also, I hope that I have turned your confusion into clarity. Bye-bye.